Donald Trump is panicking as his catastrophic war in Iran continues to spiral out of control. Donald Trump's speech last night, his address to the nation, was a complete and utter disaster. And earlier today, Donald Trump started posting about blowing up the bridges in Iran. I mean, Donald Trump right now is just bragging about committing war crimes as an extortionate demand in order to, get a ceasefire or end the war. I mean, this is the plan right here. This is some sicko stuff right here. Donald Trump just posted the video of blowing up that bridge. He goes, "The biggest bridge in Iran comes tumbling down, never to be used again. Much more to follow. It is time for Iran to make a deal before it is too late, and there is nothing left of what still could become of a great country." Donald J. Trump, this is the plan right here, just blowing up all of their bridges and threatening that we're going to blow up every single bridge that's used for civilian use as well if you don't surrender. I mean, this is utterly sickening and absolutely disgusting what's taking place. The war crimes right before our eyes in the name of the USA. This is despicable stuff. Also, the United States and Israel have targeted Kamal Karizi, Iran's former foreign minister, someone who had stepped up to start to try to engage in some sort of process between Iran and the United States, with Pakistan serving as a potential intermediary. This guy was viewed as one of the more moderate people, if you could even say they're moderate people out there in Iran, but a reasonable person to talk to. Lots of people with great foreign policy experience tell me. His name is Kamil Karazi, Iran's former foreign minister. He was seriously wounded in an apparent assassination attempt on his home in Tehran that also killed his wife. He's in a very severe condition right now. Two Iranian officials are telling the New York Times that he had actually been the person overseeing engagement with Pakistan to arrange a possible meeting between Iranian officials and J.D. Vance. The motive for targeting him remains unclear, but it does seem that Donald Trump and Netanyahu keep on targeting the potential mediators and negotiators. And again, Iran previously said that it was not interested in engaging with the negotiation framework that was brought to them via Pakistan, that Donald Trump was trying to push upon them with arbitrary deadlines. You know, Iran has made clear what their non-negotiables were, but this is the guy on the Iranian side who Pakistan was trying to talk to. And once he surfaced, because he was on the phone, the U.S. and Israel knew his location and they target him for an assassination. He survived, but in severe condition. His wife is now dead. Earlier today, the B1 bridge and the Karaj Northern bypass in western Tehran, Iran, was targeted in a U.S.-Israeli strike amidst an up-tempo escalation of this catastrophic war in Iran. As this war continues to escalate, Iran, through their state regime media, listed several bridges in Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, and Jordan as potential targets of Iranian military operations over there. For those listening on audio, I'm just putting a list of the various bridges in those countries that Iran says it is going to attack. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps also stated that, yes, indeed, we can confirm that we targeted Amazon in Bahrain in response to the assassination attempts carried out by the enemy against Iranian officials and civilians yesterday. Also, Iran posting videos mocking Donald Trump by attaching photos of Netanyahu, Epstein, and Donald Trump on the ballistic missiles that were being launched into Israel and the neighboring Arab nations. The ballistic missiles carry the message, "Hey, stupid Trump, the Strait of Hormuz is a bigger piece than your mouth. Your own strait is also in the hands of Epstein and little Bibi. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Donald Trump making social media posts this morning as follows: "Bad and very boring singer Bruce Springsteen, who looks like a dried up prune, has suffered greatly from the work of a really bad plastic surgeon, has long had a horrible and incurable case of Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. The guy is a total loser who spews hate against a president who won a landslide election, including the popular vote, all 7 swing states, and 86% of counties across America under Sleepy Joe and the Dems. our country was dead, and now we have the hottest country by far anywhere in the world. MAGA should boycott his overpriced concerts, which suck. Save your hard-earned money. America is back. DJT. Donald Trump's morning message to the country is that Bruce Springsteen concerts suck and that MAGA should not watch it. Well, not sure how MAGA is going to get to those Bruce Springsteen concerts because the price of gas continues to rise. The price per barrel of crude hitting record highs or recent record highs, as well as the price of Brent crude oil. WTI crude oil continues to rise, now surpassing $113 per barrel, while Brent crude oil has surpassed $109 per barrel. Over in South Korea, its foreign minister and president are telling people, save every drop of fuel. We are running out of fuel. The head of the Mideast Energy Division at Kepler reacts after Trump's remarks yesterday. At this point, and under the most optimistic scenario, Amina Bakar writes, under the most optimistic scenario, Hormuz will remain shut till May. Now brace for impact. Now, Iran has been working with Oman. Oman was the mediator picked by the United States back in February to try to negotiate a deal between the United States and Iran to avoid the U.S. and Israeli invasion. Recall the Oman foreign minister said a deal in principle was reached between the United States and Iran, but United States and Israel struck Iran that very same night at the end of February. But Oman and Iran have worked on a toll system right now that they are implementing, saying anyone allied with the U.S. and Israel can't use the Strait of Hormuz. Others who are neutral will have to pay a $2 million or so toll to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Also, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps spokesperson is saying, expect more destructive blows. Iran rejects Trump's claims that they don't have any more weapons. He says, your intel on our military power is incomplete. You know nothing of our vast strategic capabilities. The sites you think you hit are of little importance. Our key military production centers are very far beyond your reach. And it should be noted that a lot of those key production centers are in Russia right now, where the Shaheeds and ballistic missiles are likely being routed to Iran via the Caspian Sea, while Donald Trump continues to lift sanctions on Russian oil, Russian vessels, and invite the Russian Duma to work on economic deals with the United States, while Donald Trump continues to attack NATO and Zelensky. We heard from French President Emmanuel Macron this morning, and he said, we must be serious, Donald. This was his response to Donald Trump's behavior. We must be serious. And when we are serious, we do not say the opposite of what we said the day before. Perhaps we should not speak every day. We should simply calm things down and build lasting peace. In other words, Macron saying, Donald Trump, shut up. Just stop talking. Stop saying words. Your words are making things significantly worse. If you just shut up, we could all try to deal with this. You're the problem, Donald. He also says the following on Iran. 6 months ago, we were told everything had been destroyed by the United States and everything was settled. Clearly, that was not the case. Without international inspectors verifying materials, research, and hidden sites, it is simply not serious, is what Macron says. He also says regarding the Strait of Hormuz, opening it by force is not the option we have chosen. We consider it unrealistic. A military operation to reopen it would take an infinite amount of time and expose forces to immense coastal and ballistic risks. From the beginning, we have said it must be reopened, but only in coordination with Iran. The world cannot live with a strait that can be open or closed overnight. In other words, France is seemingly working on bilateral negotiations itself with Iran, as I mentioned before, with the toll system right now. And that's what's going to exist for the foreseeable future. I guess Donald Trump's deal is going to be, all right, Iran, you now control the Strait of Hormuz, but instead of $2 million for the toll, we'll pay $1.5. And then Donald Trump will brag, I saved us $500,000. Yeah. They control the Strait of Hormuz now, a more extreme version of the Islamic republics in power now, and you've strengthened Russia and China. Great work, Donald. Great work. Meanwhile, all the Iranian propaganda channels continue to mock Donald Trump and his relationship with Epstein. They posted a photo of the assassinated Ayatollah next to Donald Trump and Epstein and said, "We know who we should not surrender to, and we know whose path we should follow." And in Iran, they're just posting photos of Donald Trump next to Jeffrey Epstein. One of Iran's leaders, Saeed Jalili, posted the following statements, and this is what Donald Trump had been saying. "The Strait of Hormuz must be open. We will escort the ships. NATO should help open the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz will be open within 48 hours. I'm extending the deadline by another 5 days. Why isn't NATO helping to open the Strait of Hormuz? The countries that want oil should go and open the Strait of Hormuz themselves." This is the account of the United States' gradual retreat and the collapse of its president's illusions. By the way, this is what Macron was saying as well. Just shut up. Stop speaking and let people deal with it and try to figure it out. Meanwhile, Iran's Speaker of the Parliament claims that 7 million Iranians have declared they are ready to join the war against the U.S. and Israel. Quote, "You come for our home, you are going to meet the whole family. Locked and loaded and standing tall. Bring it on," he says. That's Galibaf, who Donald Trump says that he's having direct negotiations with, and he's a good guy. And the guy's like, "I'm not talking to you. We're not doing direct negotiations." Donald Trump also set to propose his 2027 budget, focused on major defense spending increases up to $1.5 trillion, while making major cuts on domestic programs, right? We heard Donald Trump yesterday say, "We don't have the money for Medicaid, Medicare, or any social programs. So we're not going to do that. All we have money for is war, not to help Americans." I'm not being hyperbolic. I mean, that's what Donald Trump said yesterday. Remember, here's the clip of Donald Trump saying that. Let's play it.
Because the United States can't take care of daycare. That has to be up to a state. We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare. You got to let a state take care of daycare, and they should pay for it too. They should pay. They have to raise their taxes, but they should pay for it. And we could lower our taxes a little bit to them to make up for, but it's not possible for us to take care of daycare. Medicaid, Medicare, all these individual things, they can do it on a state basis. You can't do it on a federal. We have to take care of one thing, military protection.
And then News Nation got a good scoop interview with President Zelensky of Ukraine, who talks about confirmation that Russia shared intelligence and Russia is obviously helping Iran. Here's what Zelensky said earlier today. Let's play this clip.
"We have confirmation that from my intelligence that Russia shared and shares the intelligence with, they share all this, a lot of satellite images of different objects on the territory of Middle East countries. By the way, it's about Emirates, it's about Saudi Arabia, it's about Qatar, it's about Jordan. On some points, on some objects, we shared it with the journalists and we said it to American side. They did it thrice. And after we said the number of these objects, what we saw, I think that American side, I think their intelligence is better than, that they have more technologies than we have. So I hope that they understand that Russia helps Iran to attack on your bases, to attack energy system of Middle East countries, to attack different objects. What they do in Ukraine, when we see in Ukraine that they do images, look, we are preparing for attack. We know 1, 2, 3 days, they will attack us. This is how we prepare. We don't know everything. But when we see it, we begin to prepare.
Well, there you have it, everybody. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.